Parking lot diagnosis. Check this thing out. We've got this Nissan Pathfinder over here. Customer states, I think the check engine light's on or it runs rough or something like that. It's got a drivability concern. I don't know how I'm gonna get in this. How did we park this here? Oh my. Hang on. Wow. Oh man, I fit through there. Look at that. I made it. That's incredible. Yeah, let's get this thing fired up. It's hot in here. Starting the engine. So we've got ourselves Nissan Pathfinder. I believe it's equipped with a 3.5 liter V6 engine. It has 127,917 miles on the odometer. And I see no check engine light. Let's go get the paperwork and see what the complaint says. Oh look, Lauren has brought the paperwork. You knew what I was after.
I just want to make sure it's the correct one.
That's right, this is a 2020 Nissan Pathfinder 3.5 liter V6. White smoke on startup and losing oil. Rattles and then spits white smoke after idling for extended period of time. That should be an interesting one. Yeah, let's go ahead and swing this thing inside. We're gonna get it on the 4-post, I think. That's where I have some space. Bye.
Hi.
And we'll bust out the scan tool and look at some data. And we'll let the thing idle while we're doing that to see if it starts chooching any smoke out. So, stay tuned. This is gonna be a very good diagnostic video. How am I looking? Am I gonna drive off the ramp?
No, you're good.
Hope not. I have my own spotter today. Alright, scan tool 30. Okie dokes. Scan tool is powered up. We're gonna go into codes menu here and see if we have any trouble codes. We do not. No DTCs present in the ECM. Now this vehicle looks familiar to me. I think we just serviced this thing not long ago. Hang on a second here. Ah, I've got history on this car. Yep, diagnose idle. Customer states idle seems rough at times. We performed a diagnosis and it looks like we put some filters in it, ran some cleaner through the upper engine fuel system, and it looks like we put 2 O2 sensors in it. Interesting. Let's see, my digital inspection has a yellow for warning lights on. It said no dash on, but we had a 171 and a 174 trouble code. Let's see, P0171 code indicates your engine is running too lean on bank 1. Okay, let's see what 174 says. Bet you bank 2 lean is 174. Yep, 174 system lean, bank 2. So it was running lean once upon a time, and we replaced some O2 sensors. Okay. Now we have no trouble codes, yet the customer is stating that they are still seeing some smoke. I remember they did have a smoke on startup complaint, but we had found those trouble codes, ended up changing the sensors. I think they were lazy O2s is what we did. We do not have any of those trouble codes at this time, but they're saying there's some smoke back here under heavy acceleration and on startup. So let's take a look at the exhaust real quick. I'll go in there and start it up and we'll rev it a little bit and see if we see any smoke coming out. Bear with me, I'm far away. Shutting down. I didn't see any while revving. I saw a bunch of water flinging out of it though, but no smoke. What do we do? What's in here? There's some oil. Got oil burning. Okay. So fuel system control is not doing much for our engine oil. Okay, so let's go with what we know here. We know the customer says that there's some oil puffing out, there's some smoke puffing out on a cold start and under heavy acceleration, okay? So I, not knowing what could cause that exactly, I have phoned in a friend and I called up another YouTube creator. His channel is called Fluffy Mexicanic and he works on pretty much Nissans exclusively, and he's the guy that knows about these things. He was doing the head nod, yeah thing when I told him about the sensors we put in and why. Back in the past, we put in a PCV system because the PCV hose was collapsed on it, so we put the valve in it. And he said that if you're getting a puff of smoke, there's two possible causes here. One possible cause, since this is a direct injected engine, is that one of the injectors is not fully closing or sealing all the way. And then once you shut the car down, that high pressure fuel will leak past the injector and then flood one of the cylinders. Then when you go to cold start it, it burns up all that fuel and sends a puff of smoke out of the tailpipe. But he said that they normally won't roll a bunch of smoke out while under heavy acceleration. The next thing that Fluff told me is that if we do not have an injector issue, and what's most likely the cause is a sludge issue. You can get sludged oil in these things, and that sludge will build up in the oil control ring around the piston. You'll get a bunch, you can even see it in here, a bunch of carbon buildup and sludge buildup inside of the wavy section of that ring, and it'll keep that ring from expanding properly, and it'll allow oil to get past that ring, and then that oil will be burnt up in the combustion process. Because these rings here, this one and this one, the compression rings, they don't do a great job of keeping engine oil out. So I think we may have an oil sludging issue possibly on the piston rings due to engine oil sludge, or again, might have to look into an injector. So what I'm gonna do, as per the directions of the authority on the Nissans, is I'm gonna remove one of the camshaft position sensors, and we're gonna check that cam position sensor for a bunch of sludge buildup on it. If we have a bunch of sludge buildup on it, I'm gonna say that the remedy is gonna have to be some kind of oil system cleaning to get all that nasty buildup out of there. It's one of those things that kind of takes a little bit of time, but we could do the highly invasive oil system cleaning with the big BG kit. We may want to do that with the 3 or 4 gallons. I've made videos on that before. I don't know if I'm narrating or talking to myself right now. I'm looking for that cam sensor. Okay, I think these are the cam sensors on this engine. So what I'm gonna do here is disconnect this coil, get that cable out of the way, disconnect that little guy. Ow! That hurt. I just filleted my thumb. We need some electrical tape to fix that. Is it making me bleed my own blood? Yep. Sweat, blood, and tears. I cannot believe I just jammed my thumb onto the tang on the sensor and then peeled the skin off of it. Look, I'm leaking. We got a bleeder. Okay, I'm fixed now. Problem solved. So back at it. What we're doing here is we're looking for a bunch of sludge under this valve cover. If there's a bunch of sludge in here under the cover, then we know that there's a bunch of sludge on those oil control rings. Oh my God, yeah. That's a lot of sludge. Bro, look at that.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that is bad. That is remarkably bad. Okay.
That's not good.
This needs the BG engine dynamic restoration kit. Did you ever see me do one of those?
I have not.
Got 3 jugs or 2 jugs of highly concentrated oil solvent cleaner. What you're supposed to do is dump the oil out, dump in the first
Just
gallon of the cleaner.
Oh, a gallon.
It's like a gallon. There's no oil. It's there's oil in it, but it's all super concentrated. Then you run the thing for about an hour at 3,500 RPM. I mean, this thing's just chooching, man. So then, after that, you drain it out, change the filter, dump in another gallon of rinse oil, which is like the neutralizer for the compound. That way you don't cook all your seals off and chemically just destroy everything. Then you run it for another 20 minutes with the rinse oil, then drain it out again, another filter, then another oil change with like regular good engine oil, and then run it again, drive it 3,000 miles, change oil again, and then keep an eye on these kinds of things. That's bad. That is the most sludged up ever. I'm surprised there's no codes. Yeah, surprisingly. But yeah, we need to do that next. Okay, let me go price this out and see what my guy wants to do, but that's bad. That's some sludge right there, I'll tell you what. Okie dokie. So it's actually the next day. We've got the valve covers removed because because I wanted to show you guys how much sludge is in here. We are actually replacing these covers because you see these baffles in here. See all that inside of there? There's almost no way, though there is no way, to clean out all of the surface area under these baffles. This is part of the PCV system, I believe. Yeah, there's the PCV hose right there. Well, all of this sludge has caked in inside of these baffles and it is not serviceable. So we ended up ordering a new set. Look at that, that's crazy. That's what's swimming around in the engine. We ended up ordering a new set of valve covers because I can't run a cleaner through this engine and expect anything to happen regarding this level of sludge. Now I think this is the worst of it up here on the top side. So what we've done, oh my God, look at that, that's crazy. So what we did before doing a chemical cleaning on this engine is removed and replaced these covers here, new gaskets and everything. That's insane. It doesn't stop. That way, when we have new covers on the engine's got its best chance, or the cleaner rather, has its best chance to go through and remove the rest of the sludge that is in the parts inside of the engine that we can't touch. And that's gonna be channels, oil galleys, bottom of the oil pan, the filters and cooler housings, any little nooks and crannies where oil circulation is left to a minimum. We got as much of this debris out as possible. That way the cleaner can only work on the areas where that sludge is impacted in other areas of the motor. So ideally, what we want to see out of this engine is that those piston rings start to free up. Now it's going to take some time and some heat cycles. That's the beauty of these chemicals, is they operate on heat. They dissolve best on heat. But like I showed you earlier, we need to get all of that carbon and sludge out of the piston rings inside of the motor. We're doing this without disassembling the engine, and that's the save the engine attempt before we say, yo, you need a new motor because this thing has well, it's killed itself. Now this doesn't happen overnight. What this is from is failure to maintain oil change intervals and or utilizing quality oil, and that's why here in my shop I prefer to use Amsoil. It is one of the top tier best oils possible to get. Now there are other top tier oils, that's just the one that I work with. There's Redline, there's Royal Purple. Mobil One's not even a bad oil. I know everybody loves Mobil One, but I think they're better at marketing than they are making oil. Lab tests prove it. It's not a bad oil, but it's not top tier oil. It's not the best oil. And the reason we want the best oil, especially on direct injection engines, is because that oil is going to help to prevent this kind of buildup. But you've got to change it, and you've got to change your filter. This was caused by lack of oil change services. Yeah, she sludged up something fierce. Look at that. Look at all that sludge right there on top of the cam. Oh yeah. Makes me wonder what the piston rings are looking like. That is horrible. This is the 30,000 mile oil change. It's a Nissan 3.5 liter direct injection. We used low quality oil and our intervals were lackluster at best. Yeah, this is a very severe case of sludging and damage. We ran an oil cleaner through this once, just one of the little cans. We're about to step up the game and run the invasive, highly concentrated cleaner. We need to get this stuff out of here and clean up those piston rings. So what we've done as a fix to this, and like I said, it's going to take some heat and some time. We've done what's called the dynamic engine cleaners. It's a very invasive and heavy duty chemical cleaning regimen. Basically what we do is we drop the oil filter and all the old engine oil out, and then we will add this jug of the cleaner, and you run that engine at about 3,000 RPMs for 40 minutes, RPM, not RPMs, for about 40 minutes. About 2,800. Then you drop the filter, put a new one on, drain off all the cleaner oil, and then you add a gallon of rinse oil, which is a low detergent oil. It's just there to get the residual cleaners and any of the sludge that has broken free out of the engine system. So after you run it for about 20 minutes at 2,500 RPM with the rinse oil, then you drop the filter again, drop the oil out of it again, then refill it with engine oil and a new filter one last time. Then we send the car off on its way there to drive it for 500 miles and then come back for one more oil change with a better, higher quality oil, because we use just some baseline super cheapo stuff to facilitate the third cleaning as they drive it. So we'll get it back in here and we'll recheck it after 500 miles to see if those piston rings have freed up or not. Regardless of whether the piston rings freed up in that 500 miles or not, we have a boatload of the sludge removed both physically and chemically from the engine, and that should allow better ring seating and allow the thing to stop burning oil on startup. Even if it does continue to burn oil, this situation right here was very close to putting this engine to death permanently. So in a last ditch effort to save it, we went ahead and replaced valve covers and attempted to chemically clean it out. So I can update you guys later on the results on that after they drive it some. If you would like to see the specifics on how this oil cleaning service is performed, I do have a detailed video on that service. I will leave a link to it down in this video's description, up here in the upper right hand corner, and in the pinned comments. So that gives you guys 3 avenues to check out the effectiveness of those cleaning solutions. Now, in that video that I just spoke of, we performed that same service on a 4-cylinder engine, and what we had done was pulled the valve cover off, and we witnessed all the sludge inside. Put the cover on after some cleaning, then ran the service, then pulled the cover back off and inspected it, and we saw a noticeable difference in the amount of buildup on the engine surfaces after the cleaning. So hopefully we get a similar result with the Nissan, and I guess we're gonna go from there. Time will tell. That being said, I've got nothing more to offer you on this video other than a thank you for watching. As always, let me know what you think about that sludge situation in the comment section down below. Don't forget to engage that like and subscribe button. And most importantly, don't buy a 3.6 Pentastar, because we've got another one in here with rocker and lifter failure. See you guys later. Have a great day. End of video, end of rocker arms, junk, end of transmission.